I'm Jonathan Schroer. I'm an international master.
And maybe you could tell us a little bit about, how you became involved with chess and at what age you really began to take chess seriously.
Okay, well, I don't actually know exactly what age I learned the moves. My parents don't remember if I was 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. And my mother taught me how to play, and then I would play with my father, and he was pretty good, so he beat me pretty much all the time. And eventually, one time he stalemated me, and a little while after that I actually beat him a game. So.
And he wouldn't play you anymore.
Well, actually he stuck with me for quite a while, but eventually I got the upper hand, and then he wouldn't play me anymore.
When did you start taking chess really seriously? You wanted to go to tournaments. You knew you wanted to be a master.
Well, I think that the first chess book I ever got was a book by Fine called something like The World's Great Chess Games, and actually my grandmother gave me that book, and that kind of inspired me. Some interesting stories about these masters, but for some reason that inspired me to want to be. Uh-huh. I think I discovered from that book that you could be a professional chess player, so I wanted to do that.
What would you recommend as far as getting better at chess? I mean, we all strive to become better at chess, but, maybe you can mention one or two things that helped you become better at chess.
Well, the main things are a lot of contact with stronger players, and also that you really approach the game seriously and that you go and try to get a lot of information. I found that one thing that worked really well for me was going to the public library and taking out a bunch of books and just devouring them, and there's so much information out there.
Would you say study is more important or is practice more important?
It's definitely a mix. I mean, either way, you got to do both. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember Max Erva in his books, Chess Master versus Chess Amateur, and also The Road to Chess Mastery. He has definitions of types of players. So if you only played but never studied, then you might be a coffeehouse player. But if you only studied but never played, then you'd be a book player and you'd lack the experience. So you really need a good mix of both.
What was one of your earliest strategies or plans to get stronger?
Just getting out and playing, reading a lot of books, studying. I think that maybe things that set me apart from other players were that I played probably much slower than most other players, that I really searched and struggled to find the best move all the time, and that I took it more seriously. I was really a perfectionist, and I took keeping score in the games very seriously.
Some of the masters mentioned there were certain challenges or obstacles they had to overcome. For example, some lived in a small town, didn't have any tournaments, whatever, and so they had to travel. Did you have any obstacles or personal challenges that you had to overcome so that you could get stronger?
I mean, I had some of that isolation, but I can hardly complain because I was about an hour and a half away from New York City. So as long as my father was available to take me to the tournaments, then I got really good exposure to top-level chess. So maybe lack of a teacher. So I'm largely self-taught in terms of formal lessons. The first formal lesson that I ever got was from Vitaly Zaltzman, and he became an IM, and he gave me the lesson after I had defeated him in tournament play. So I came pretty far without getting any private lessons.
So that you really had to put forth a lot of effort and a lot of study to reach, international master without a chess camp or without a mentor or a chess instructor.
Although by the time that I made international master, I had taken lessons from international master Salvatore Matera, and then later extensively from my real lifetime guru, Grandmaster Anatoly Lane.
What type of effort, how would you compare it to other types of work, since you've taught chess a lot of years. Actually, you finished your law degree. You have all kinds of other things that you've done in life. How would you compare chess, the amount of effort you had to exert to achieve the IM title compared to maybe graduating from law school or something like that?
Well, I think it's a different kind of effort because when I started getting serious, you asked when I got serious about chess, I was pretty much serious about chess right from the get-go. So this is something that when I was in K-3. When I was in second grade, I won that third grade championship at the school. I realized that, I could do this pretty well. And so immediately I became very serious about it. So it comes much more naturally to me than a lot of other things. So I feel like I'm really at home with chess.
And when you're preparing to play in a tournament or in a match, do you do anything special to prepare for, say for a tournament or a match?
Well, I do a lot of opening preparation. Typically, the game has become very much centered around the openings. So I get as much information about my opponent as possible. I study the opening variations. I'm kind of out of practice, actually. So my peak was 20 years ago as a player, in my competitive peak. I don't know, I might be stronger now than I was then, but I'm certainly not as fast. And relatively speaking, there are a lot more stronger players now than there were then. So I'm not as sharp, and I'm certainly not as up-to-date on the opening theory. So I kind of struggle to...
Unfortunately, of course, along with winning comes losing, and both winning and losing have different effects on us. I'm just curious, how do you overcome a loss, say, in the previous round, and how do you deal with a loss to help get your head right so you can go back and do your very best in the next game?
Well, I try to look at it from the point of view of the tournament as a whole, as a unit. And so, to me, the tournament's not over until the tournament is over. So if a game is over, then it's almost like I'm playing a game. The tournament is the game. So I'm playing a game, and something in the game didn't go well, which is a loss. And then I have to recover from that. The Swiss system is very strange. In some ways, it warps the perspective. But in the Swiss system, which is the vast majority of what I play in, I will then try to recover, point-wise and try to do well from just from a placing or monetary point of view.
And I know that you've studied a lot of books, and I know you've used a lot of the Morphy games and a lot of famous games. I'm wondering if you could just mention a couple of your favorite books that would be helpful for kids or adults, for that matter, improve at chess, and also share, maybe who's influenced you the most to become a better player.
Well, you got to look at my list.
I have.
So that's based on...
They may not have.
It's based on Alex Dunn's excellent book, and I don't remember the exact title, but something like the greatest chess books of the 20th century in English. So, it depends on the level. There's so many good books. I guess a couple books that don't appear in his list that I think are really good are, once again, the Irva and Meiden books, The Road to Chess Mastery and Chess Master versus Chess Amateur. Again, there are so many good books. It's difficult to pinpoint any particular ones.
And any particular individuals maybe who have influenced your life or, supported your chess or...
You mean in terms of people that I
people
know or knew
it could be models even,
Well, personally, Anatoly Lane did wonders for my game. Also, there are old friends like Tony Renna on Long Island. He's a senior master. We used to work together a lot.
Very good. Just in conclusion, would you like to share any words of wisdom for the younger generation or for those, master wannabes out there?
Well, get out and play. Gather experience. Don't view defeats as setbacks, but rather as learning experiences. Try to maximize your time and your learning from stronger players. Work hard at your game. Don't get discouraged. Enjoy it. It's fun. And I think that one thing that's hard for younger players to realize is that this is a lifetime thing. And a lot of people, when they get older, they don't have that many things that they can do that they really enjoy and think are wonderful. In chess, you'll never get bored. That if you're really looking to get strong competitively, you're going to want to do it early. Because once you get serious about college and a career and really start having to make tough life decisions, it gets a lot harder to improve at chess.
Absolutely.
So enjoy it, realize it's a gift, and make the most of it.